Morning.
Morning.
Ben, hi Ben.
Hello, guys.
Hi Ben, you're right.
Yeah, very well. Thank you. How about you?
I've got. I think I'm gonna need the help with my work. I've been on it for almost a week now, still having one or two issues.
Okay. Where are you at? What are you trying to do that you're having issues with?
Yeah, I'm trying to switch roles. It's just giving me this error. The account, check that the account and role information is correct, that you're switching from correct section. If the problem continue, contact administrator. Try different things.
Why are you switching role?
Remember the the assignment you gave us. You know me, I'm still far behind. I haven't completed that.
Okay. And do you watch the videos when you're trying to do that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do is, because we want to focus on what we're doing today, we'll probably help you get to the level where we are all at, so we can go ahead with that one, and then you can find someone, China or Paul,
Okay.
to help you with the other tasks. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. So what we are trying to do is to create an EC2, Paul, a Windows EC2. You'll be surprised to know that we're using Windows. And using that Windows EC2 to access someone else's account resources. Okay. That's the idea. Cross-account access to AWS resources using role assumption. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have done is creating an EC2, the Windows EC2, and connecting to that Windows EC2. Who here cannot have access to this Windows server in AWS? Who here, if I tell you to connect to your Windows EC2 now, who here cannot do that?
Me?
Okay.
Because I haven't tried it. So
Okay, Paul,
Can
you share your screen? Perform this same action, and then while you're sharing your screen and you're performing the same action, you follow the step-by-step task.
No, I think I can't as well. I need to follow.
No, you know how to create a Windows EC2, Paul. Create a Windows EC2.
Yeah.
That's all. You're creating a Windows EC2 with default parameters. Windows.
Yeah.
End of. You don't know how to do that?
No, I think I do how to create a Windows EC2.
Well, go on then. Go on then.
Okay. I haven't done that before.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm here for you. So both of you, Paul, share your screen. I will be telling you what to click, what not to click. And then you follow those same steps. Okay? Okay. We already have a video for this in the coursework, but let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So Paul, share your screen.
Yeah, sharing. you can see my screen.
So to create a Windows EC2, you log in into AWS and go to the EC2 console. Okay.
Yeah.
When you get to the EC2 console, it will take you to the dashboard. So click on the dashboard, Paul. Let's see what the dashboard looks like. So when you arrive at the EC2 console, this is your first, sometimes depending on cache, this is what you see at the beginning. To create a new server is easy. In yellow, it says launch EC2. Okay, it's easy. You just click that button and you launch EC2. It will take you to this page for you to put on select or configure your new EC2. Wait there, Paul. Oh yeah, are you at this stage? Oh yeah, are you at this stage?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get here, the first parameter or first information you need to put there is the name of the server, the machine. How are you going to call it? When you go to all the EC2 console and you list all of your machines, what do you want to identify this machine as? And that's in AWS, we call it a tag. Name tag. Okay. So call it whatever you want to call it. And in our case, I think we called it destination, whatever. But for now, just call it anything, and then you can change the tag after later, because we don't want to spend time going to find out what the exact name of this machine should be. Okay. So you can call it something Windows Server for cross-account access, something like that. Windows Server for cross-account access. Descriptive. Normally, when you give a name, make sure that the name is something that tomorrow when you come, you can find what exactly this machine is all about.
Yeah.
And then when you finish, you go to the application and operating system images. So you're going to select which image you're going to use. And under there, they have quick start images. As you can see, they have images for Amazon, Mac OS, Linux, Red Hat, CentOS, SUSE, Debian, all of that. In this case, we want to go for Windows. Okay, Windows. Now, when you select Windows, it will give you a list of a drop-down box that you can select which type of Windows you need. Okay, and here, as you can see, we're going to use the Microsoft Windows Server 205 base. Okay, we are not going to select anything, so you select Microsoft Server 205 base. That's the image that we want. And as you all know, what you're doing is you're selecting an image. Okay, we all know what an image is. And then you come down to instance type. This is where you're going to select in this drop box the number of CPUs you want, the number of memory you want, all that resources that when the machine comes online you want. I think for the purpose of this task, let's choose a bigger machine, which you're going to pay for 1 hour, because we're going to be here for 1 hour. It's probably going to be £1 or $1 for this 1 hour. Okay. It will be fast for us. It will be quicker if you have $1 or 1 hour. Go down and choose the large, T3 large, okay, or T3 extra large. It will be fast for us to do our work. Choose the extra large. I think it says how much is it. It tells you how much it costs actually. Go down. To go down to the extra large. So here the extra large has you're going to choose large, yeah?
Oh no, this is an extra large. It's
extra large. Extra large has the 4 vPCUs.
It's 0.24 power.
Yeah, so it says that the Windows-based pricing is 24 cents per hour. In the hour, you will pay 24 cents. Okay.
So is it the C large?
Extra large, extra large. T3 extra large.
Oh, okay.
So when you get there, let me know.
Yep.
Okay. Then you're going to select a key pair. I've explained what a key pair is to you. When the machine comes online, what key you're going to create a key and a lock. Okay, a key and a lock. They will put the lock on the machine for you, and they will give you the key. A key to your house is in your pocket, and the lock is normally on your door. Okay, a key and a lock. So what we are going to do now, we don't have any key and logs in this AWS for Windows, so we're going to create one. Normally what I do is I copy the name of the machine that I put at the top and use that same name to create my key and lock. Okay, so close this and go and copy the name that you put in the tag at the top, Paul.
Okay.
So you go and copy that name and then you come and paste it here. Okay. Okay. And then when you come here, you say create a new key. Just click on that button next to the because you don't have any key. And we are going to use we are not going to use party, so we're going to select the PEM. So here you paste the key pair name, you put the name there in the key pair name, and you select RSA, which is the default currently for Windows, and then the private key file type you select .pem. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you create this key. Click on create key pair. And what will happen is AWS will create the key, the lock and the key, and give you and download the key automatically. You see at the top, it's downloaded. Okay, so you get the key, and AWS, when they create the machine, they will put the lock there for you. So you have the key, and they will put the lock there for you, so that when you're coming to access or enter the machine, you use your key to open the lock, so that you get access, just like a door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you're coming in, there's something called firewall or security group. Okay. It's like your house, and there's a wall around the house. Okay. This is what firewall is. So your house, you have the key. They're going to put a wall around the house, and they're going to protect who can actually come into that wall to be able to even use that key. Okay, so that's what security groups and firewall is all about. Here we will create a new key. So what we do is in the network settings at the top, we will click edit. Network settings at the top of this pane, we will click edit. Yeah, it gives you more options to be able to do a lot more. Okay, in this network settings, there are so many things that we are seeing, but we're going to use the default. We can see that it's asking us which VPC we want. We will leave it at default. Which subnet we will select no preference. Auto assigned IP address, we will select enable. And here now you see create security group. It gives us the opportunity to actually put the name that we want. So you see it's got launch wizard 29. Remove that and put the name, paste the name of the machine as well here. Okay, and the description, you can put whatever you want in there. Now, to connect to, we all know what a port is. We discussed what a port is before. A port is just like the name says, a port. In every country, there are ports. There's an airport, seaport, land port. Okay, when you're going to a country, you will enter through a port. If you come to UK, you can enter into UK through Gatwick, through Dover, through wherever the ports are. There's no other way you can enter. So the security group, which is the wall around the house, it has ports. Okay, these are called ports. Okay, so which one are you going to join from, enter the machine from? To enter the machine, a machine that is it's a Windows machine remotely, you will be entering from port 3389, okay, which is the RDP port. So in the wall, the security group, you're going to enter from a specific part, not the gate, the front gate. You're probably going to enter from the back gate. And that's what we are going to only allow people to, whoever goes to that back gate, to be able to enter. Okay, if you don't go to that back gate, you are not entering. That's what the port is. So we are saying that we are only in this wall, which is a security group, opening the port RDP for from anywhere, anybody. So the source is anybody. The type is RDP and the source is anywhere, anybody. You could select and say that you want only you to be able to enter that port, or you can put a list of people who you want them to be enter that port. But for now, we're going to say anybody, what you can see anywhere. As long as you want to come to this house and you pass through the back gate, you can come as anybody. That's what we've done now. Okay.
Yep. And
then we leave this as it is. Scroll down. And you need to specify the disk, what disk type, how much disk space you want, and the disk type you want. We are going to leave it at 30 because Windows is obviously huge. And then we're going to use the GP3. I'm not going to explain what these are today. Okay. Everything will stay as default for now. When you're creating an EC2, these are the basics that you need to do. Everything will stay as default. And as you can see on the bottom right, there's the yellow button that says launch instance. After you've selected all of these, you've done whatever you have to do, you click on launch instance and you click the button. AWS will then go and create this EC2 for you. As you can see, it creates the security group, which is the wall, and then it creates the house and put it in the wall. When it created the wall, it did the back gate. Okay, it did the back gate for you. Now stay there. It says that instance launch failed. I saw this yesterday. You have requested a CPU capacity that your current VPC limit.
Saying mine successful, yeah.
Yeah. I think this one is a specific issue with. Yesterday I got something like this. AWS allows instance bucket that is specified below. You can do it again. Retry failed task. Or Paul, you can just click on retry and let's see. And then if not, just go back and then do it again. Okay, go back. So what we say is selected what? Limit of one allowed. Go back. Maybe we made a mistake somewhere. But this is it. You see, yours is successful.
Yep.
One thing about Windows that you need to know is when you launch a new Windows server for the beginning, to be able to connect to the Windows server, you need to wait for 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Okay, 4 minutes. The machine will run for 4 minutes before you'll be allowed to enter. Well, up to 4 minutes. Up to 4 minutes. Up to 4 minutes. Okay. Up to 4 minutes. Don't know what's happening here, Paul. Select the large and let me see. You have go down. There's an error there. You've requested more vCPU capacity than your current VP limit of 1. Have you done anything restricting your account so that you don't use too much in this account?
No, but I think I've experienced this before, that I can only use one only one VC something. But I think this is saying we do have to. I think something in the account configuration.
So you might have done something to your account that restricts you.
Yeah.
When you were playing with it. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to you're going to have to choose the one that it will allow you for now, because we don't want to spend too much time doing that. Yeah.
I think I've used this before. Let me see.
Okay. So, Oye, you are in the machine.
Yeah.
How hard was that, Oye? And this we have a video helping us to do that.
Okay.
Choose one that has one VPCU if you want. It will be slow, but
yeah.
There's none that has one VPCU for Windows. Go up. T2 Nano. Still have 2 vCPUs. Wow. And you have a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is where I can get to, Paul. We need to fix that problem.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not going to spend time. Today is not a day that I'll have enough.
Yeah, I can quickly share my.
Yeah, share
your. I think. Oh, you can share. Yeah.
Okay, share your screen. Right, so we have created this VPCU, which is cool. Okay. Now we're going to connect to it. Okay, connect to it. When the machine is created, you have to connect to it, isn't it? Now you connect from your laptop to the machine. Okay, and RDP means remote desktop. Okay, remote desktop protocol. On most machines, I can see that you're using Windows. Here, one thing is you can click on connect to your instance. You can click on connect by go down. Let's look at all the options that they have there. Okay, right. Let's go to EC2 instance and go and find this machine. Find it. Okay, so you click on instances at the top.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that will take you to this page that has all your instances. Okay. Now, when you select this instance that you have just created, which says it's running, select it. No, I didn't say click anything, select it. Exactly. And then you go to connect at the top. So top connect button at the top. You see that it has options for you to connect. There's one for session manager and there's one for remote desktop client. Okay, click on that. For Windows, you can, if you're running a Windows server, you can just download the remote desktop file. Okay, so click on download remote desktop file, and that file will then be what you're going to click to be able to get into the machine. Okay, for Windows. If you click that, it will start opening RDP for you and stuff, but you can't connect yet, so wait.
Okay.
You cancel this. What you need is a password. See, as you can see, you need a password.
Okay, password, yeah.
Get password. And this is why you have to wait 4 minutes. So click on get password. And remember the key that we created and it was downloaded. So go to your downloads. No, you're going to select the key, upload the file. You're not going to do anything, just upload the file. If you do this, you make a mistake. So select the file. Where is the file? That's it there, the PEM at the top. There, exactly.
Okay.
And then you click it and open. So it will then obviously paste it there. You see how easy it was?
It was okay.
And then you click on decrypt password on the bottom right. Now the password is there. So you copy this password and save it somewhere nice. Remember, as soon as we finish this video, because this video is going to be online, you need to delete this machine and do it again without anything. You need to close this quickly. Close it. Close this page. Close this page completely.
Okay.
Yeah. So copy the password, put it somewhere safe, and obviously the username is also administrator. Okay. Remember, the password is this. The username is there. The IP address is there. If this video goes online, basically what you've done is, and you've also allowed access from everywhere.
Definitely,
So
yeah.
if this video goes online, anybody who has this password and IP address
They're easily coming.
come in your machine. Okay.
Mm.
And if the machine has permissions to do things in your AWS account, that person more or less has access to your AWS account to do whatever they want.
Okay.
Okay, good. So you need to delete this machine, throw it away, and do a new one. Okay, without recording. Right. Now you have the password, you have everything. So you downloaded the file. Click on the RDP file that we just downloaded. So go to your downloads. Downloads. Your laptop downloads folder. Laptop downloads folder.
Oh, okay.
And when we where is your downloads folder?
Download.
Yeah. So it says there Windows Server. Yes. So click on that. Double click, and it opens this for you. And you click on connect. It opens the RDP connection for you. Click on connect, and now it's saying put the password.
Password.
And you click on OK. You click on yes to accept. And voila, you are in the machine.
Okay.
So this is you in the machine.
Wow.
You see, you're logging in as an administrator, and it will give you access to do whatever you want as an admin. And from here, it's got nothing to do with AWS.
Okay.
This is Windows Server. So from here, your knowledge as a Windows admin continues. Got nothing to do with AWS. So you have just gone and bought a Windows Server. Like when you go to PC World and you buy a Windows
computer, yeah.
This page here has got nothing to do with Microsoft anymore. Yes, we can do some things Microsoft here, but I just want you to understand that when you buy a server in AWS, and they give you access to the server, that's it. You have your knowledge is no longer cloud, it's going to be Windows. Okay. Now in Windows, there's a tool called CMD, which is it CMD? Yes. So if you go to the search button or you click on the Windows, Windows, you should know Windows. I'm not going to teach Windows. How do you access applications in Windows? I really don't want to do that. Oh yeah, you know how to access applications in Windows. If you want to go to Word, where do you go? Microsoft Word on your Windows machine. Exactly. So let's please be quick on this one. Okay. Now, when you get here, the application you're looking for is CMD. Type CMD. I think it's CMD. Yeah. It will come. Let's wait. Is it CMD? Yes. It's called command prompt. That's it there. So this is the application you need, because from here we're going to do command prompt stuff. So you can run it as an administrator. Voila. And this is it. Yeah. Now we are going to install a tool, software, an application that will allow this machine to interact with AWS.
Okay.
This tool, application, server, service, whatever the name is, this tool, it's exactly the same tool that you can install on your laptop. It's a software that will allow you to be able to a machine to be able to communicate with AWS. Okay, and we call it AWS CLI, AWS Command Line Tool, CLI. Okay, in the chat, Chris has posted some command there that you're going to use to install this tool. Okay, so copy the command and paste it. So it will be best to copy it and put it in your text editor. Make sure the command is everything is okay, and then paste it into this line here. Okay, so open your text editor, copy the command that he has put there, and then we're going to run this command, and it will install AWS CLI for you. Okay, basically we'll go and download it and install. Okay,
Is Chris sending me anything?
He has read in the chat of the meeting.
Sorry?
Check the chat of the meeting.
Oh, okay.
He has shared something.
okay, where are we? Okay, yeah, so you can hit enter. And this is where the reason why I said you should use a bigger machine, because this process here, if the machine is too small, can take a long time. Okay, so you click continue. You're installing an application, you see, just simple Windows stuff. You go through, accept whatever you have to accept, and click next, and follow the instructions and install the application. You see, it's saying that installing AWS Command Line Interface V2. Okay, this is what we've done. You can copy this same command and run it in your laptop. It will also install on your laptop for you. No, but don't do it now.
No, I just want to save it.
Yeah, and this command is specific to Windows. Okay, it's specific to Windows. Remember that. There's another command if you want to do it for Linux. It's different. If you want to do it for every server, is different. So it's finished. That was quick. So now the tool to communicate with AWS from any machine, a Windows machine, has been installed on this specific Windows machine. Okay. Now we are not going to learn CLI. We're not going to learn how to use that tool or software. There's only two things that I'll say here. One command that if we want to list all the S3 buckets in your AWS account you use is AWS. So the tool's name is AWS. So type AWS. Space. So whenever you want to use the software, you need to type AWS first, okay? And in AWS, we want S3. So AWS S3 space, and we want to do what to S3? We want to list the bucket. So LS and enter. As always.
No, recognized.
Well, why are we getting AWS is not recognized?
As an internal or external command. Operable program or patch the file.
Okay, close command line. Let me see something. I think that we should have done it in. I don't know why should we do it in PowerShell. Okay, close command line.
This?
Yes. And go back and look for another tool called PowerShell. It's actually there, but you can type it. Yeah, PowerShell. I can see it. Windows PowerShell in this pane. Windows PowerShell. I can see it. It's
Okay.
there. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what's going on here, but there's a big chance that we have to run the command again here and see what the difference will be. So copy the command here and run it again.
Nope.
Chris, what's going on? Is that all we have to run? Chris?
Yes, that's all we have to run. But I think we had to run it from PowerShell. No, after you've installed, I think you need
As
to
it is
close
installed, I think it can learn the code here and see. That's
You need
I
to-
think
the
he has
latest.
to just close command line and then open it again.
Okay. So close it. Okay, click next. Let's see. Click install it again. Say
No, it's already installed.
remove.
I think it's already installed.
Remove. We just remove. It's removing the tool, and we'll do it again. Don't worry. Right, finish, quick. Let's go. We got only 20 minutes. It's a hard stop today. Right, go to PowerShell again. And run the command again. Okay, hurry up. Next. Quick, accept whatever you need to accept and install this application. Install should be quick. Machine is big. You don't want to pay for this machine. Paul, are you here? Are you at this stage? Or you...
No, I'm stuck. I think I will follow the video.
Okay. Finish. So it's installed now. Now close PowerShell and open command line. Open command line. That's it. Yeah, command prompt here. And type AWS. No. AWS S3LS. Oh, come on, cancel this. You asked the question, you didn't wait for the answer, and then you started doing it. AWS S3LS. AWS, you typed AS. S3LS. Yes. Enter. Exactly what we want. So the tool is working now. The tool, when you run the AWS S3LS, has given us an error. it says that unable to locate credentials, you can configure credentials by running AWS command configure. Now, when any machine wants to communicate with AWS, yeah, when a person wants to communicate with AWS, they go to the browser. They go to a browser, they access AWS web page, and they get the login page, and they put their username and password and MFA, and they go into AWS. When the machine is going, they can go 3 ways. They can have access 3 ways. One way is that you put in a specific file, or you do the AWS configure, and then you create a user that has access keys. We're not going to do access keys today. And then you put it in the machine. And that access key, the user, whoever you've created access key, the permission you've given to the user is what the machine is going to use. The other way is you attach a role in AWS, which is what we're going to do, to this machine. And that role permission, the machine will assume that role to perform tasks on your AWS account. Okay. Now, when AWS is the CLI is running, the first thing it does is it checks if it has the file. If it has the file and there's any keys in the file. If that information is there, it will use that access. If it's not there, it will check if there's any role also attached to the machine. If there's a role, it will use that role. If both of them are absent, it will give you this error. Okay, it will give you this error. Unable to locate credentials. You can configure credentials by running AWS configure. Now, we're not going to run AWS configure because we don't want to put the keys and credentials in this machine. So we're going to give this machine access to our AWS account using a role, which is where we got to last week. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to AWS. Where you go to AWS, and we are going to create a role. Okay. So to create a role in AWS, you search for IAM because it's in the IAM console. And then you go to IAM console. When you get to the IAM console dashboard page, on the left pane, you can see user groups, users, roles, policies, identity provider. There's a list there. So click on the roles on the left pane. When you click on the roles, you can see that on the top right, there's a big yellow button that says create role. Now, in this create role box, dialog box or page, there's a trusted entity. Here, we're going to select AWS service, okay? AWS service, which is one of the services, is going to use this role, okay? And the use case, service or use case drop-down box, you select EC2. We are going to give this role to an EC2. We will leave the default EC2. We're not going to select any EC2 role for systems manager, fleet role. No, we just plain EC2. Okay. And then we click next at the bottom right corner. We will not give this role any permission for demonstration purposes. We will not give it any permission. So whoever puts this role, a role as we understand is a hat. Whoever puts this role on will not have any permission in our AWS account. Okay, so we will skip this permission. So skip it, go down and click next. Now you need to put a name to the role. Normally, I put the project that I'm doing, so the name of the EC2 can be the same as the role, so that when I'm looking for roles, I know what this role is all about. Okay, so if you go to EC2, if you duplicate this page or go to EC2 and open a new page, or if you have the name copied somewhere, put that name here. We want the name of the. So what are you trying to do? Just duplicate the page.
Yeah.
No. Right click on the top of the page. The page, the browser, how to duplicate a browser page. No, the page that you're on.
Yeah.
This is not the page, is it? The browser page. Go to the browser page. All the tabs, the tab. Duplicate the tab. No, I didn't say click a new tab. Duplicate the tab that you're on. Go to the top where the browser, the tab is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how many tabs have you got open? How many tabs have you got open?
Just one for AWS.
No. So far in this browser, how many tabs are open?
Yeah, where you are now, just right click.
No. He needs to understand what we're talking about. How many tabs are open?
Mm.
Tell me, how many tabs are open in this browser?
Just one.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't you see? Go to the top. Move your cursor to the top. Move your cursor to the top. Move it to the top a little bit more. Move it to the top. Yes.
Yeah.
Now go left. Go left. Left. That's right. I said go left. Okay.
Look left. Yeah.
Okay. So in left. Now let's move it slowly to the right. This is tab 1.
Yeah.
Go to the left again, right again. Tab 2.
3.
Go tab 3. You are on tab 4.
Yeah.
Go to the right again. Right. Tab 4. The next one is what? Tab 5.
5.
You have 5 tabs open. You have opened 5 tabs.
Yeah.
Now go to the tab that you are on now, which is visible. Exactly. This is the tab that you are on. Duplicate this tab. Go back there. Go back to where you were. Don't bring it down. Go back there. Now right click and click on duplicate. This is something that you should be able to do. It's got nothing to do with AWS. It's plain simple using a laptop at home. Duplicate the tab.
Yeah, we'll learn every
Someone
day.
says duplicate your tab. It's something you should be able to do.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm like this in the morning. So.
No, that's fine. Yeah, we learn every day. I don't even know things like this happen.
Anyway, so now that you've duplicated the tab, go to search, because you go a new tab, you can go to EC2 from here. You get the point. So just go to search, because the other tab is still open. All the work that you've done there is still there. So now we want to go to EC2 and go and find the name. Yeah,
that's good.
sorry, my laptop, I didn't charge it. It just died on me. So I'm using my phone now. Okay. So now you're here. We're looking for the machine that you have created. And here, there's so many ways to get to the machine. You see, it says instances running. Click on that. And here's your machine. All you need is that name. So click on that edit button and select all. Yeah, anyhow you get the name. And go back to the tab that you were working on. Exactly. And put the name here. That's all you need. You need the name of the machine. How you get it is you can do anything. Okay, now that we've got the name of the machine and we are using the name of the machine to to create the name of the role, you don't need to do anything here. Scroll to the bottom and create role. Exactly. So the role now has been created. And as you can see in the list of rows, now you have 5 rows. In the list of rows, there's Windows, one of them there. Okay, that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the tab that has the EC2. The tab that, yes. And you have already selected this EC2 machine.
Yeah.
On the top right, you have instance state actions. Click on instance state. No, actions, sorry, actions. Top right. and you're going to go to security. And you're going to modify IAM role. Okay. And you are going to click on role and select the role that we have created. So what we are doing is we are putting the role. So basically we are giving the role to the machine. We're saying you can use this, the permissions, this machine role. More or less, the machine is putting the hat on. Okay. Now click on update IAM role. We might have an error because no, it's working. Okay. Last time I think we felt like we should have. Okay. So now the role has been attached to the role has been attached to the machine. Okay. So the machine now has something to do with something that can have a permission, even though we didn't give it any permission. So what I want you to do is go back to your Windows client page, yes, and go to the command line. I think it's at the bottom, yeah, and run the AWS S3 LS again. You didn't type it correctly, so you need to type AWS S3 LS. If we make a mistake, we'll give you this. What happened?
I closed that.
It's okay. Okay, type it again. AWS space S3 space LS. AWS, yes.
S3.
Yep.
And S.
Enter. Okay. See, the first time we typed AWS S3 LS before we attached the role, the error was different. It says that we should configure AWS CLI using AWS configure. But when we went and attached a role to the machine, the error is different. It says an error occurred, access denied, when calling the list bucket operation. The user, you see the role that we attached to the machine is now they are saying that user or that role is not authorized to perform list bucket because no identity based policy allows this action. So what happens is, yes, now the machine has been able to authenticate to AWS. So it's like when you're getting to the airport, you get there and they say, who are you? And you give them your passport, they check your face, they ask you small question. That's authentication. When the person, the agent is happy, they let you into the country. When you get into the country, do you have permission to drive a car? Now, so what has happened is this machine has gotten into your AWS account now, but it doesn't have permission to drive a car or list bucket. It has to go and get that permission to do the things. So what we have to do is we go back to the role in AWS. So you go to IAM again and go and find the role. So there's a tab that's opened already for IAM and the role is still there. So click on the role. No, that's a selection. Click on it. Yeah. You click on the role and here you see permissions. There's no permissions. Okay. So in this role, what we're going to do is we're going to add permissions. On the right hand side, there's add permission button. And we are going to click on add policies. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to assign the machine one of the policies that AWS has already generated. We can generate our own policy, but we're going to use AWS managed policy. Okay. In the search bar under the policies that are listed, type S3. So we are searching for a policy that has something to do with S3. And as you can see, we have one for full access, We have one for, we want the read only. We don't want the machine to do anything. And one thing about policies and permissions is you only give what is needed. Okay, so if by mistake someone gets access to this your machine, that person can only do this. They can only do read only. Yeah.
Oh.
So we are selecting read only, and then you scroll down to the bottom, and then you add permission. Okay. So now this role or whoever puts this hat on has the ability to read S3 if they get a chance to come to this machine, this AWS account. Yeah. So what you have to do is to go back to your instant, yeah, and then run the AWS S3 ls again. Let's see what will happen. Okay, so it didn't give us any error. What has happened is it has gone to your AWS account and it has listed the buckets. The buckets that you have are none. It gave you none. There's nothing. You don't have any bucket. And that's why you don't see any bucket there. You can, if you go to AWS and you create a bucket and you run the list again, you see that bucket here. Okay. So if you want to create a bucket, it's up to you. But what we are saying is now using a role, a machine or a resource in your AWS account has been able to access a resource, another resource, which is S3, and using AWS CLI, and is able to authenticate and with the permissions given, perform the action list buckets. This is it. Okay. This is how you go ahead allowing tools to be able to come into your own AWS account. This is for your own AWS account to perform actions on your behalf. Some of the resources can be, even S3 itself can be given permission to do something in another resource. Something like a database, RDS, can be also given a permission to perform S3 actions. There are so many other resources. On this note, we used AWS EC2 as a resource to access AWS S3. Okay. So the aim actually is to use this same role and this same resource to access someone else's AWS account. But it's best that we all are at this stage, and then we can continue and make changes to the role to allow us to also go and list the bucket to from someone else's account, which is what we're going to do tomorrow. Yet last week we got here, but not everybody was here. Tomorrow, please, I want everybody to be able to perform this task. Okay, everybody should be able to get to this stage where they have an EC2 that has a permission to list S3 buckets in their own AWS account. The EC2 is a Windows EC2, and we'll continue with making sure that we can access other people's account, because the main goal is cross-account access. That's what we're doing. We have done it in our own account. We need to be able to go to someone else's account. Okay. So it's 8 o'clock. We will stop here and continue tomorrow. Any questions, guys? Any questions?
No question from me.
Oh yeah, was it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. We have done this video. This video is already there. I'm going to download this and add it again. So many videos doing the same thing. If we don't practice, there's no point us there's no point meeting every day, because if we're going to do the same thing every day, there's really no point, guys. There's really no point. It's best that we move forward. Okay. So let's meet again tomorrow, but I really want everybody to be here. When we meet tomorrow, when you join tomorrow, please make sure you are already in your machine, you have connected to your machine, and you can run AWS S3 LS. So everybody will run AWS S3 LS. As soon as we start the call, you show me your LS, S3 LS, and then we can continue going forward. Yeah, we need to move from this stage. All right. Cool. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Then do you want me to delete this? I can delete this.
Yeah, delete everything.
Okay.
Just click and go to actions and delete the EC2. It's called terminate. The button you're looking for is terminate. So if you go to actions on the top right corner, and then instant state, instant state, and you want terminate. Yes.
Okay.
Now you're going to do it again. So when you do it, it will not be part of this video.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you have deleted it. Now, one thing you have already done is you have created an IAM role. You have also created a key pair and a security group. When you are creating a new one, you don't need to create all of these things again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can just use the same one. So when it says create a new one or select one that is already created, you can select your one. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't need to create a new IAM role. You don't need to create a new key pair. You don't need to create a new security group.
Okay.
You can, during that that stage where you are creating the EC2, you can select the one that is already created. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much, guys.
Sorry, Bernard. One quick question.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason we are using Windows machine, or can we use Linux to achieve the same?
Yes, everybody was using Windows, and I didn't want to. If you want to connect to the Linux machine, those who had Windows, I have to go and learn. They have to go and learn how to do PuTTY, and I can't be bothered. So we decided we use Windows machine instead. So, but if you can do a Linux, all you need, you can use the same thing, but you have to install AWS CLI on that Linux. You can choose a Ubuntu machine. It's the same.
Okay.
If you have a way to connect, which is SSH, and I don't have to come and teach you how to SSH, then yeah, I don't have a problem. Anybody can use any.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
All right, guys. See you later. You can drop off. Thank you for joining.
All right. Thanks, Bernard.
See you tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Achina, why is it that you are the last person who leaves?